Hello everyone, and welcome to another redstone video. So yes, as I said, it has been a while, but here I am with another video. And today we're going to be looking at a Nether brewing system. This is something that Etho showed off in one of his Let's Play videos. I think it was a few weeks ago now. And I thought it was a really interesting concept, so I decided to have a go at compacting it. So, obviously this is quite an interesting concept because you can't place water buckets in the Nether, so it's very difficult to fill up the water bottles in bulk. So yeah, this is the first system required, and this is something that turns wet sponge into filled water buckets and dry sponge. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting system. It's 3 wide and 6 high and I think 5 long, if you include the wall part. So if we just switch it on, we can sort of see this working. So the furnace is here, and you see the sponge is smelted up, and it takes 2 sticks to cook 1 item, and then the sponge gets dried out, and the water goes into the bucket. It's then sorted by the hoppers into these 2 chests, so dry sponge in the top one, water buckets in the bottom one. And then obviously from there you could link this into the second system. So this is the second system, and this is when you take your filled water buckets and put them into a cauldron so that you can then fill the water bottles. And the basic concept is you just hold right click on the cauldron, and then a trapdoor comes up to block it so you don't keep taking the water in and out of the cauldron. And then the system will give you the water bottles, which you then fill up and chuck into the hoppers. We'll see that a bit clearer in a second when we do a first person view. So this is the first person view. You can see you hold right click, and then whenever you have something you can't do anything with, you just chuck it in. So empty bucket, chuck, filled water bottle, chuck. And that's basically how the whole system works. You just hold right click and press Q, just like that. Alright, so now we're going to start the first tutorial. You want to get started by placing, sort of making your wall section. So just start by placing a lever at the bottom there, and then running redstone back into a block with a torch on it, like that. Then from that block you want to just place blocks as I do here, making sure that one's a slab, and then run redstone dust along all of them like that. Then you want to place 2 hoppers facing forwards, and those are going to be leading into your output chest, so just on top of each other like that. The next step is to place 2 droppers facing upwards there and there. That's where your sticks will go. And then your furnace with a line of hoppers leading into it like that. Then you want to place a dropper facing across and then one facing down into that hopper there. And then you can finish off your front panel by doing 2 hoppers and then a double normal chest there, has to be normal, and then 1 double trapped chest next to it, right there. So now for the rest of the actual redstone, you need to come to the back and place a slab so that you can take a comparator output from the furnace. That's going to power a block, just like that. And then you want to have a signal strength of 6 going into the side of it like this. So the best way to do that is with a hopper with 2 stacks of items, just like that. Then to finish off the redstone, you just need 2 blocks, 1 dust and a repeater on 1 tick facing into that hopper there, and then just a torch on that block right there. And that's basically the main mechanics of the redstone done. We can now just fill up the chest, so wet sponge in the left chest, empty buckets in the right one. You want to put quite a few in there because it has to fill up the dropper, and then sticks in these 2 droppers here. Now when you want to get it started, just place 2 sticks into the furnace and your first empty bucket into the hopper, and then that means when it's done smelting, it will all be ready to turn on, so you can just flick the lever and it will just start automatically producing the filled water buckets and dry sponge, which we can see here. And then it will get sorted, as I've shown previously, into the 2 chests. The final thing to do for the system is just to add a safety mechanism, and that consists of 2 comparators which will take signals from those 2 hoppers we placed earlier. They'll go both into blocks with torches on them, which will power the dust below. And that will mean if it runs out of items, it will automatically shut off the system so that it does not break. And that is everything finished. Okay, so now we're going to start the second system, and you want to get started by placing a cauldron and your trapdoor on the side of it like that. Then you want to dig down 2 and place 2 hoppers, and then 1 hopper facing sideways. Then you want to take a comparator output from the cauldron, and this means that whenever you put your water bucket into the cauldron, it will automatically shut the trapdoor so that you can't just take the water out again. So yeah, comparator into a block, into some dust, and that dust is on a slab. The dust also powers those 3 droppers there, which have your empty water bottles in. And then above the trapdoor you want another dropper, and that's where the water buckets will go. Then you just want to dig down around the back here, so that you can access the hoppers. And you just want to lock them for a period of time. So place a 3-tip repeater into that block there, and then just run dust up like that so that it's powered by the comparator from the cauldron. Finally, you want to place a comparator coming out of that hopper there, run it up with some torches into that comparator there, and then just place a torch there so it will power the dropper. Then you can just finish off the frame, and that's basically the whole system done. The final thing to do is to make sure the items don't fly around everywhere. So you can either just sort of block it all in, or you can place trapdoors. And a good method for doing that is just placing a trapdoor, a block, and a piston. And then when you power the block, it will leave the trapdoor open up against the wall like that, which is a pretty neat trick. And there we go, that is the whole system finished. Alright, so that's everything for this video. I just want to say a massive thank you to Dougie Doug, who basically helped me record this entire video, and yeah, you wouldn't have it if it wasn't for him. So there'll be a link on the screen, and I highly recommend you go check him out and subscribe, because he does really good Minecraft videos. So that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like, and of course consider subscribing, and I will see you all sometime in the future.